Hi, everybody. It's Jennifer here. Welcome to ALC ChangeMakers Podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Sconyers, and I am here with the amazing Mary Hoffman. Mary and I met in Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses cohort last fall in Columbus, Ohio. And I think we even met in the elevator.
Yes.
We did. Um, Mary, who you're going to hear from in a moment, is majority owner of Faucet Head Creative based in Delaware, Ohio. So Mary's going to share her story of Faucet Head, how she became a majority owner and her leadership journey. Mary's also a student of ALC now. She's taken a couple of our courses, so she's going to speak to that experience and also share what she's learning in her leadership journey now as things are just changing in this ever-changing marketplace. So, welcome, Mary.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about who you are and just your leadership journey, and also Faucet Head. I think people should know what Faucet Head Creative is.
Absolutely. Yes, a lot of people wonder if we produce plumbing supplies, and we do not. Anyway, my name is Mary Hoffman. As Jennifer said, I'm CEO and majority partner of Faucet Head Creative, which is a marketing strategy, branding, and website design agency. We don't stop there. We tend to do all things marketing, but we are quite the robust little group of creatives, and we have a lot of experience to back us up, and we love solving really tough solutions for our clients and their specific industries. So I would say, like, where did this all start? My husband started it 25 years ago. He worked for a sizable agency in Chicago and decided that he wanted to do things his own way, and he started up Faucet Head Creative then.
Mhm.
Um, Fast forward, probably about seven years ago, I decided to start doing some consulting work for Faucet Head as I was in my full-time gig, which was in the midst of decades of retail training, developing, recruiting, market introduction for new brands. That was my world. I was all things retail. And I ended up, once we hit the furlough moment in the COVID world in March of 2020, I just really reevaluated things. And instead of taking that furlough time to just kind of hang out and watch Netflix, I started digging in to see what I could do to actually help grow Faucet Head and look at it from a business perspective as opposed to it being a creative running a business. And we all know creatives are amazing, but they have a tendency to have a hard time with the background of the business and all
Yeah.
of the things that you have to pay attention to. So then
Yeah.
that's where it started. And I decided to buy into the company. And last year I became a majority owner of the company. And since then, it's become this amazing resource for small businesses. We're working with local female entrepreneurs now, which is my passion.
Mhm.
And, it's just been a wonderful journey. So that's the long and the
Yeah.
short of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, in our cohort, we had a number of marketing professionals, right? And I think
Yes.
it's marketing is not like it's not, there's so many nuances to marketing. I think people don't realize. Can you explain the niche of Faucet Head and what makes you unique and sets you apart from the pack?
Absolutely. So it's funny because the marketers that are in our class, we all have this view that there's enough of the work to go around. So, like, let's put our specific, strategies and strengths together to, like, make bigger projects and not look at each other as competition. For instance, we branding is our jam. We
Yeah.
absolutely love when a client comes to us and doesn't even have a logo yet, and so we can brand somebody from conception all the way to interior design of their space. We are really great at website design. We're really great at email campaigns, but I would say that our SEO strengths, not so much. We have a partner that we work with that we bring into projects who's fantastic, but we're not known for SEO.
Yeah.
We have a social media specialist now that works with us in our team whenever that is included, but that's not what we're known for, you know.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting question, Jennifer, because we just had a conversation with our team that we need to really like start a campaign to explain to people what marketing is, because a lot of
Yes.
businesses nowadays don't know what that encompasses. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think that it's doing a disservice to those of us that are specialized because they think, well, I don't need marketing. I can do that on Canva, or I can, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
if we're able to identify ourselves as marketers and what our strengths are, then it makes it easier for the client to decide, oh, that's what I need, you know. So like
Yeah.
glad you asked that. The niche part of it is we're your powerhouse for branding. We can do everything, but we love the
Yeah.
marketing and website design. So
Yeah, and I think that's important because that was something I shared with our Goldman cohort many years ago when I was, an infant. I was a marketing consultant. That's where I started my career, and that was an advertising specialty. So that was very niche, right? Based
yes,
on that marketplace.
yes.
And while that wasn't my calling in life, right? It's where I started. And what I think I took from that was the importance or power of telling your story. In that case, it's a brand telling its story.
Right.
Um, and at ALC storytelling, we use it very differently now. It's how you build community and connection, right? There's so many ways we can use our stories, but that's also a part of marketing.
Mhm.
And this question of what marketing is, what would you want people to know? Because I think it's like one of those things. I see it with training. People can devalue training, like I can just do blah blah blah, right?
Right.
But it's a skill to do
Yes.
it really well, right? It's
Mhm.
not just putting something together in Canva, though you can do that. Can you just explain
Right.
from your perspective, like what marketing is and how a business or an organization can really leverage and utilize marketing?
Absolutely. Our true north with any one of our clients is to to be able to provide the ability for a client, a customer, or a future client to land on their webpage without even meeting anybody from the team and get a sense of their mission, their values, their overall energy.
Mhm.
I was just talking with one of our cohort members yesterday, and we were
Mhm.
talking about the fact that I told her, I said, you have this amazing new space. When I land on your website, I want to feel like I'm in that space.
Yeah.
And you can do templates on Wix and Canva and make things happen to be able to represent yourself. However, am I feeling like I'm in your building when I land on that site and I'm feeling like I want to call you right away because I feel like we resonate
Yeah.
with one another's energies? And that's what we're really good at. And I think that working with an in-person marketing agency will give you, because
Mhm.
people, we're not just a template. We come in, we visit you, we get to know you. When we're in our discovery process, we're asking questions that people are like, why do you care about this? Like, what?
Mhm.
I want a website. Why are you asking me these questions? You know, who cares what shows I watch on TV? You know, like, who cares what magazines or digital periodicals I look at? And
Mhm.
it's all important to us because it's all about that personality piece. So
Yeah.
it's a representation thing. When we want to represent our clients in the best possible light, but authentically, you know, and it doesn't matter how it happens. It's just this special sauce and this special chemistry that happens in our studio. And we totally
Yeah.
produce that for them. So it's great.
Yeah, it sounds like what you do at Faucet Head is you're telling it's a visual story. So as
Mhm.
soon as someone goes to that website, they get a sense of who that company, that business, that organization is, what they value, right? Like it's
Mhm.
super clear
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah,
there, who they are, what they stand for. That's great.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm curious because we're, for listeners, whenever you listen to this, it is second quarter of 2025. So that's contextual.
Yes.
Um, and we are in a really volatile market, right? Whether it's the Dow Jones doing weird stuff, tariff talks,
Mhm.
the threats of defunding nonprofits, there's instability across
Mhm.
the marketplace. I don't think I have anybody yet who feels comfortable right now. That includes as business owner. Like, this is an unsteady time. So I'm curious at Faucet Head, how are you all navigating these challenges, and what are some like choices that you all are making right now?
Well, we started out as our bread and butter was attorneys, law firms, and manufacturers. I don't think I need to go into great length as to how the current political environment has affected those clients. um, and so we're actually pivoting a bit because there are a lot of cuts when it comes to their budgets, and marketing, unfortunately, is usually one of the first things to go.
Yeah,
We have an emotional tie to a lot of these clients because they're what we call legacy clients that have been with us for 5 to 10 years. And
yeah,
there's a lot of things that they have gone through personally in this current environment, and we want to help them. So
yeah.
we're changing that relationship to more of
Sure.
consultancy,
Okay.
as opposed to tangible items. And, just kind of a lot of the Zooms have been just kind of like therapy sessions. So
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
being said, we still have our legacy clients, and when they're ready to spend money again and feel that they can, we'll be here for them. However, what this has done is inadvertently pushed me even quicker into the community
Yeah,
and making a difference, not necessarily for the big corporate law firms and the huge manufacturers, but making a difference for those of us, because I consider
hmm.
myself a small business owner and entrepreneur,
Yes,
but
yes,
those of us that are really struggling and
yeah,
really don't know every day when they look at the news, what's going to happen with small business funding and
yeah,
um, all of the stuff. And it's
yeah,
very political, but
yeah,
I want to make a difference with those people in our community, our immediate community in Columbus, in Ohio, to be able to still offer them a professional presence and be
yeah,
able to represent themselves in a professional way so we
yes,
can all climb this mountain together and get through
yes,
these tough times. Um,
yes.
and whether that means, offering, we have a division now called Signal Tower Microsites, which
Okay.
gives people the affordable ability to have a professional team, get them online with a professional website. It's a one-page website,
Yeah,
and they have the ability to talk to a person, and they don't have to worry about doing a Wix or a Canvas site overnight because they don't have time to do it during the day. We do it for them.
yeah,
That's that has been so rewarding just already, just the momentum that that's picking up for the
mhm.
people to realize, okay, I thought I couldn't afford this, but I really can. And this is,
Yeah,
and and once again, because I'm working so much in the community, specifically right now around women, I can't help it. It's just my jam right now. I love women. I love men too, but us women in Columbus, us small business entrepreneurial women, are a force to be reckoned with. And I'm just making sure that our company is doing everything it can to support them through these tough times. So that's how we've pivoted. And we even laughed because 6 months ago, we looked like a completely different company. And now
mm,
it's offering solutions for the scrappy business owners that don't have resources and making them look fantastic in their industries. So it's been
mhm,
fun.
mhm, mhm. No, I love that because it sounds like you've made a really thoughtful and intentional pivot that's
Hmm.
values aligned, right?
Hmm.
So it's knowing you still have those legacy clients, those were bigger clients in terms of their size and budgets. There's a lot of changes happening with them. I'm hearing
Hmm.
you're pivoting more consultancy with them. So I'm assuming marketing consultancy types of stuff for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it sounds like the growth opportunity or the innovation has been with the microsites and
Mhm.
supporting women business owners, community members, people where you're giving them something at an affordable rate to create a website, knowing these are people who are probably stretched thin, don't know where to begin. They have a conversation with your team and they have a website that's values aligned that does the things they need it to do.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And even
Well,
with like when we were talking about like bigger projects like on the Faucet Head end,
yeah,
we got the amazing opportunity to partner with Consulting, Jennifer Walton and her team,
yeah,
to put a bid in on the Dress for Success web website redesign, and we actually won that bid. So it's a bigger project, but it's still in alignment with where I want to be right now. And that is helping women in the community to roar and,
yes,
be able to have a voice and feel confident enough to be able to go out there and be in contention with anybody for a job. And I just, it's just really, it's so funny because a lot of times you wonder, you sit back and you think, these opportunities, I put the intention into the universe. I prayed for this intention, and all of a sudden it's coming. And it's just
yeah,
like, this is fantastic. If you set that intention and you really truly work towards it and make it your goal and I always say true north
yes,
starts to come. But it's not easy when,
yeah,
when it starts out. But now we're in that spot where it's like, I'm
yeah.
feeling that coming back. It's providing.
Yeah. Well, it
Mhm.
looks like you've taken a risk and the
Mhm.
risk is paying off. That's what I'm hearing. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, I'm
Yes.
going to make a mini pivot because Mary's
Yes.
only a friend and was in our cohort Goldman Sachs. Mary also took some of our classes at ALC. So can you just speak a little bit to why you chose to take the classes and also what they, yeah, what you how you experienced them?
Well, Jennifer, when you told me that you were going to be testing this workshop about how to basically pivot in the post-election world,
Yeah.
I think that it was interesting because we were together in this class during the election and the aftermath, and we had a lot of conversations and breaks, and we both are very aligned with our concerns. And I knew I needed something. I needed a direction. Like, what do I do from here?
Mhm.
Like, where do I go? And
Yeah.
that workshop was able to center my focus on basically what I can do to support my team in an
Yeah.
effective way,
Yeah.
not having it completely implode my team, but it offered me suggestions of how to basically fly up and look at my overall team from overhead and realize what it is that I need to do for each one of them. They're all going to be handling this in a different way. Some
Yeah.
ways I align with, some ways I don't necessarily align with, but they're still my team. And how
Yeah.
do I get through that shift? So it really helped me. It was actually after I was on the workshop, it was a live workshop. I
Yeah.
remember sitting at my desk and just journaling and writing and starting up like plans for each one, just writing down like my team members and where I felt their values aligned and what I could do to make everybody feel like they still were working with one another and not letting this be like the elephant in the room that nobody wanted to talk about. So
Mhm.
I really gained a lot of insight from that. And then now I'm still in the course that you offer, and I want to make sure the name of the course, so you can go ahead and tell me.
It's managing professional relationships. It's the e-learning course. Yes.
That's right, the e-learning course. And so I have been in leadership for so long, most of my career. And this is a tool that I wish I would have had because I think that I can reflect back on some situations that I had in the workplace or with specific team members that I wish I would have had this knowledge or this insight
Yeah.
to actually evaluate the situation a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I honestly have to say too that even if you may not be necessarily a direct manager or you don't have direct reports, that the course actually serves you in other ways too. It actually helps with just working in teams and understanding different diverse personalities in the workplace. And that's really what I'm getting out of it as well. So I'm getting once I finish the course, I'm actually going to have my marketing director take it. Um,
Great.
Yeah, and I really feel like it's going to be kind of a staple as we grow, for people to take, and not, if not necessarily a leader in the company. I just think that it's going to be great course material for everybody for working with teams. So thank
Love
you.
that. Yes, well, thank you. And folks, I didn't pay her to say that. This is coming straight from her mouth. Well, great. I'm so glad. I mean, when I created the course, just for listeners, I created it years ago. We did this work in university systems, and it was targeted to mid-level managers, but really was built for anybody.
Yeah.
And it's something I wanted to bring back out to the general public and make it really affordable and accessible. The full price is $40 a seat. So, people can put a credit card down, take the course. We want people's teams to use it, so it's not just for the managers but for the whole team to do it and
Mhm.
live the practices, right? So there's work on relationships and values. And so my hope is that, teams like yours use the work to help build your culture, especially now that things are just changing. Our org cultures are the things that where we have agency. We
Mhm.
can do something about that, right? The greater world's kind of a mess, but we have agency when it comes to our organizations and our teams.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Mary, is there anything you want to inform listeners about? Anything you have coming up, or any requests you want to make?
I would say take a look at our new baby, our new division, Signal Tower microsites. It's actually signal-tower.com.
Okay.
And just see some of the wonderful packages that are available for those scrappy entrepreneurs, that we just can't wait to work with. But also, I think that one thing that I noticed in this current political environment was that I needed to make a difference, not only as a company, but as a person as well.
Yeah.
And I really think my advice for anybody that's listening to this that feels as though that their hands are tied and they can't do anything to impact their community right now, they're nervous, they don't know what way to turn, dig, find ways to help.
Mhm.
And I actually am partnering with a wonderful man named Jason Dolan,
Mhm.
who leads the Ohio Prison Entrepreneurship Program, and he partners with Ohio State. And he actually has a curriculum for inmates on starting up your own business.
Mm.
So I just thought this would be an amazing opportunity. He's now opening it up to the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville. And I'm going to go and mentor there. And there's a group of NAWBO members and I that are thinking about doing follow-up mentoring for these women and
Mm.
really helping them gain their wings again. And it's the coursework is wonderful. It's not just about starting a business, but it's also giving them life lessons and life learnings, like how to build your credit and that type of thing. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that sometimes we want to just hide under a rock during hard times, or we just throw our hands up and say, there's nothing I can do, and I felt like that for a bit. But I started digging and figuring out ways that I could get out there and do something that I
Yeah.
felt that I could make a difference in. So that's where it's leading me. So who knew? I mean, even 6 months ago, I had no idea I'd be going into prisons and mentoring, but that right now to me just that feels like the right space. And then in another season, it might be something else, but I'm always challenging myself to figure out where I'm needed. So,
Love that. Love that, Mary. Love that for you, right? So building community,
yes,
developing your leadership, those are all values of ALC. We love to see people evolve and figure these things out. And like you said, during times of challenge and change, really getting clear about where you can make an impact and a difference is just so important.
yes, yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been a joy talking to you, Mary. So glad
Yeah,
you could join me on the podcast today.
absolutely. It was my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, for listeners, if you want to learn more about Mary, where should they go? Faucet Head's website,
Yeah,
LinkedIn, stuff.
I'm on LinkedIn. If you go to Faucet Head's website, it's faucethead.com. On the About Us page, my picture's there, but you can also read more about Mary. I love to set up little coffees, even through Zoom, if anybody wants to chat. I love meeting new people in my community. So yes, that's where you can find us. Me.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mary. And for listeners, if you want to learn more about ALC, who we are, what we do, just follow us at jennifersconyers.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time.